guys, welcome back to my channel. How you guys doing? How's it been? Thank you for joining me today. If you're new here, welcome. Where have you been? I've been waiting for you all my life. Don't forget to click the subscribe button, guys. So as you can tell, I'm in transit. I'm going somewhere, but I just decided to, like, you know, make this video because any free time, just need to make use of it. It's not like I have free time though, but you get it. So today I'm going to be talking about something I came across on social media, and sadly I did take screenshots of the story. I don't know why, I just totally forgot, but I can summarize the story and we can just talk about it. It's a very scary one and a traumatic one. It's a story of an alleged or supposed paternity fraud. You know, a couple, husband AA, wife AS, and they gave birth to a child, and the child's genotype turned out to be SS, sickle cell disease. And of course, so many questions around that. They did blood test again in about 5 labs. It came out the same, husband AA, wife AS. So how come they birthed a sickle cell child? Okay, so you know, the first thing is always to blame the woman for paternity fraud, for infidelity, for, you know, birthing another man's child, for a lot of things like that. And you know, the woman kept saying she didn't cheat, you know, she didn't commit adultery, the child belongs to the father, you know. But all of those things that she was saying, it didn't even add up. Okay, so they did paternity, they did a DNA test, and I mean, that's always the first thing, because you want to assume that, oh, the woman is lying, she's committed adultery, and so fingers were pointing at her. So they did paternity test, and of course it turned out that the child wasn't for the man. Like, it's just normal, you know. So everybody started blaming her that she's a liar. Even her friends were blaming her that she's a liar. That's like women to women, you know, pointing fingers at her. Nobody believed her. Okay, and of course, I'm sure that it made their marriage sour. The trust wasn't there again, the understanding wasn't there, the love wasn't there, right? And I mean, she stood her ground to say that she didn't commit adultery, you know. So they thought of a maternity test. Okay, and it turned out also that the child didn't belong to her. Bro, so apparently they switched a child at the hospital. Okay, so the story is now like 2 in 1. First, paternity test was done without considering a maternity test. Secondly, the hospital in question, of course, they have to pay for it. You know, according to the story, the hospital is going to pay for it, so they are paying for it, they've been sued, and all of that story. Like, I know that stories like that are not new. I mean, such stories not new. We have people who have come out to even confess, you know, that working back as nurses or as midwives, they've switched babies at the hospital, you know, giving a boy child to a woman whose husband has told her not to come back home with a girl child. So they do all of that, they collect money for it. We don't know the reason why this child was switched, you know. But stories like this abound, and I tried to go through the comments. I saw one particular comment that was pinned. The lady said that her mother told her the same story, that she was almost switched, even though that her mom had cited her and had known that, oh, she put to bed a girl child, the color and all of that. When they brought the child for her, it turned out to be a boy, and so she said that no, I didn't give birth to a boy, I gave birth to a girl. And you know, they couldn't do the operation. Okay, so stories like that are, I mean, they are abound, they are endless, they are all over there. If we even go into the roots of all of these things, you discover that a lot of people aren't even supposed to be children to the parents, you know, that they have at the moment. So it's really scary. But the other aspect I want us to talk about is how they did a paternity test and not thinking of doing a maternity test immediately as well. You know, it just brings us to the standpoint of how people just always want to judge women for everything. You want to blame women for everything. And for me, it's really scary, it's traumatic. I can't even imagine what, you know, that woman in question must have gone through. And I can't even imagine the standpoint of their marriage right now, because no matter how much, oh, please forgive me, you know, I blah 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 yada 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 stuff, she wouldn't look at her husband the same way. I mean, it's a different case if everybody's pointing fingers and blaming you, but your own person, your own soulmate, your husband, like, is joining the bandwagon to say that, oh, find me my child, or tell me the truth, tell me that you did this, and, you know, let's just move on. Okay, so I can't imagine what the standpoint of their marriage will be at the moment. So it's just really, really so hurtful that they thought of a paternity test, because they just assumed that, oh, I mean, it's not even the guy's fault, we had sex and I just want a baby, but there you are, brought me another child, and then you want me to believe you. But this woman was saying, I didn't commit adultery. They didn't think for a second to make or to go for a maternity test as well. You know, they had to make her go through all of the hell, all of the disgrace, and all of the pain. It's so unfair. So I'm just like, this is how the society is. When that story like this, everybody just wants to believe the guy. Oh, she has gone to bring another man's child. Oh, she has gone to do this. Oh, she has gone to do that. Knowing fully well that stories like this abound. Like, when I read the story, it wasn't new to me. It did come off as a surprise, because I've seen stories of people made confessions. I've seen stories of people come out to say, oh, they caught midwives or nurses doing, you know, operations like this. So I don't know why, you know, a woman will now say wholeheartedly that she didn't do this thing, and you will not think for a second to even believe her by doing a maternity test alongside a paternity test. I can't imagine what their, you know, relationship would be like. So the question now is, if you were in the woman's situation, what would you do? Because as a matter of fact, I don't think that the trust will be there. I don't think that the trust will be there. You know who you married. Imagine that they had like a very fantastic home, a very fantastic union, a very fantastic marriage where the trust was solid. You know, you can tell what your partner can do and what she cannot do. And this kind of story comes up. Okay, what would you do? Would you, for a moment at least, give her a benefit of doubt to say, okay, we'll do a paternity test and we'll do a maternity test also, just to test, just to know for sure if what you're saying is true, okay? Or would you join them? Because I mean, the situation is something you cannot even think of. Why will my wife even bring me another man's child? It's something you cannot think of. So at that time, the act was spontaneous, or all of those things where I would never even say it was spontaneous, because it wasn't, everything didn't happen in one day. It probably like took months or weeks, right? And man, I can't even imagine a situation. But if you were in her shoes, what would you do? What would your marriage standpoint be like at the moment? How would you see your partner? Would you see him as that person who is your backbone? Would you see him as that person who you can trust, who can fight for you? Because of course the man didn't fight for her, and you would want to just think that that's normal. You know, the man is so mad at her, he doesn't want to hear Jack. Other people were pointing fingers at her, were blaming her. He alongside was doing the same thing, or even worse, you know. And results came out, and they just found out that, oh, she's been saying the truth all the while. How would you feel as a man? Also, how would you feel? How would you salvage the situation now that your wife is probably so bitter towards you, because there's no so much she can do about third parties like friends and, you know, families that, you know, they also had like an input in it. But you were supposed to be that person she trusted to have fought for her, you know, standing as a couple. Also, how would you guys, I mean, salvage the situation together? Would you at this point in time just think that it's not worth it? Because something worse can happen tomorrow, and this is probably how you would also behave, how you would take the situation to be like, you know. So what are your thoughts? What are your opinions for the hospitals? What can be done, you know, to curb things like this? If you've ever worked in an hospital, are there laws that backs up things like this professionally or in the medical line? Please, let's get talking. Let's make the conversation fun and lively. I hope to get from you. I hope to learn as well from you. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It's your girl Rhoda. Until I come your way some other time, be good.